film the class for a minute.
Yeah, it works. So my fourth graders.
No talking.
Yeah. Aiden.
This is you being very well behaved. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so right here. Okay, so this is Mrs. Britton and Mrs. Bromley. You can pan over that way and then pan back here and her class. And we're going to be going on to Google Classroom for the very first time today. Okay? And before we get started, I'm going to tell you guys about the 2 things that we're going to focus on doing today. And have a seat, Owen. And the other thing that I want to talk about is what we do when things don't work well. Because when we first start doing something, how many of us are in here? Like 20-something?
Oh, almost 30.
Well, I mean students.
Yeah.
In your class.
Almost 30.
Almost 30.
Yeah.
There's a chance that 1 or 2 of you might have a machine that has a problem. So I just want to talk about how we're going to handle that before we even get started. Because technology is great when it works, but sometimes there's issues with it. So let's pretend all of a sudden your machine just quits working. Okay? We'll look really fast, or if there's some problem, we'll look really fast. If it looks like it's something that's going to take some time, can I pretend it's you for a minute?
Yeah.
If it looks like it's something that's going to take some time, do you think it would be a good idea if I just stopped teaching everybody and for like 10 minutes help you with your computer? Is that a good idea for the rest of the class? So in that kind of a situation, I might say, okay, I'm going to get back to you. Please watch with your friend, the person next to you. And then after we get everybody going, we'll come back and help. Does that make sense? And if it happens to you, I'm sorry, because that's not really fun, because we all like to do stuff at the same time. But just know that that's how we deal with it. We try to get the majority of the class going, and once they're busy with something, then we'll come back around to you. Now, your chair needs to be down, because if it were to flip, you might get hurt, and this might fall. I'm going to tell a gross story, and we're filming it. So once upon a time,
Not very long ago.
I was teaching, that's shocking, right? I was teaching, and this kid was, you know how you have that green counter over there? So the kid was like on that side of a room, leaned back in their chair, lost their balance, went back, hit their head on the counter, and cut their head to the point where blood started shooting out of their head like a sprinkler with a heartbeat. It was really gross. So I get kind of paranoid about chairs leaning back. So just know I want all 4 on the floor. The other thing is I've had kids, have you ever seen this happen in class? I've had students, it's happened more than once, where they're leaning back in their chair, which they shouldn't be doing, and they lose balance and they grab onto their desk, and their whole desk falls back
It
with them.
happened just last week.
Did it really?
It did.
Now, so that's never something we should do, but we understand that right now we have Chromebooks on our desk, and we want to be really careful because we don't want them to break. So for that reason especially, we're going to be really careful with how we sit, okay? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and open up your Chromebooks and log on. And Mrs. Bromley's going to help click for a few minutes, and then she's going to jump in and help me. So go ahead and log on because I know you guys know how to do that. And my 5th grade helpers, I have a few 5th grade helpers in here. Just if they need help, you can help, but I think they know how to do this part. And you probably in a minute might unfill some of that, but not yet. Okay.
First period in
Yeah, help her make a
I wouldn't know your password.
Yeah, you can log in. Okay, so logging into our Chromebook should not take very long. So after about a minute, I'm going to have you raise your hand and tell me if you're logged in or not. If you're logged into your Chromebook, just sit quietly for me.
You type in first and last. Using your password for
Terry, if you need help, raise your hand and your help will help you. Jolie, you can't log on to Google, so just close yours. You just have to watch.
Oh, okay, she doesn't have a okay. Are you on? Do you have a user?
What?
You don't know your login? She doesn't know her login? Okay, then watch your neighbor. It's at student29j.net. Do you know your password?
We've done that.
Jonathan, first name, last name at student29j.net or whatever you guys do, and then she should know her password. Okay. All right, bump it up, bump. That's a sound effect I'm going to do, so let's talk sound effect. When I say bump, bump, you guys bump back. So listen, my fifth graders in here will do it. Bump, bump. And that means your hands stop whatever they're doing. And that you look at me, and I might be somewhere else. Okay, you can log in now. Okay, here's what I need to know. If you are logged in right now, give me a thumbs up like this. Okay, hands down. If you're not logged in yet, I know you're not, so we're just going to keep going. Okay, so are you not logged in yet?
I am, but it's also.
It's on what? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, if you just closed out of your Chromebooks last time you were working, it takes you, you're not logged in yet. Do you not know how to log in?
We'll work on it.
Okay, we'll get on later. Okay, we're going to go on to the internet. So my fifth graders in here, if it opened up to their Google Doc, you guys are going to hit your little minus sign or your X in the top right hand corner if you're staring at your Snowflake Bentley thing. Okay, and exit out. It doesn't delete it. It's still saved in your Google stuff. Okay, so exit out.
Fifth grade helpers.
Fifth grade helpers, this is where I need you to walk around the groups. I'm staring at a computer right there, Mary, right there. Okay. Okay. So I am waiting for all of you to have just your screensaver for me. Okay. Do you not know your password? Okay.
It's the same password that we use every day.
All right. So I'm going to do the sound effect. Are you ready? Bum, ba-da-dum, bum. Now here is where, when we first started, we talked about how some of you, something's going to happen, a glitch is going to happen, and you're not going to be able to keep up with us. But I'm not going to have 22 kids just sitting there waiting if you can't get logged in. If you can't get logged in, you can keep trying, but after we get kids up and running, we'll come back to you and help you, okay? Your job is to be listening to the directions, so once we get you up and running, you will know what it is that you need to do. Okay, raise your hand if you are now staring at your screensaver. Okay? Good. Okay, so that's enough of us. That's almost all of us, so we'll get going. All right, and you probably in a minute will need to swing your chair that way just so that you can help those ones. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. We're going to go on the internet. There's that beach ball looking thing on the bottom of your screen. It's a round ball that's colorful. It's your Chrome browser. So look at the bottom of your screen and click on it. And it should, if it doesn't take you to Google, I want you to type at the top Google so we can get to Google. Okay? I want to do it a certain way just so if we get on other machines we know how to do it. Okay, so I want you to, in Google, just type the word Google Classroom. And Mrs. Bromley's going to do it right here. There's more than one way to get to the classroom, but I just want you to see how to get to it by Googling it. Okay? Don't do sign in, Mrs. Bromley, just do Google Classroom. Okay, so this is what I want your screen to look like right here. And once it's like that, I don't want you to click on anything, okay? So that should be your Google search findings. Google Classroom, and hit enter. Make sure you hit enter. And this is where my helpers will walk around and make sure that you've hit enter.
Is there a space?
Oh, Mrs. Bromley's full.
I know.
Control plus makes your screen really big. Control plus, there we go. Okay. So Mrs. Reister, if you're in here, you're being broadcast to just north stand. Okay. Okay. So here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to do the sound effect. Are you ready? Bum, 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 bum. I'm just checking. What's that mean your hands do? Off the computer, and eyes are where? Eyes are where? Show me where your eyes go. Not on your screen. I'm still waiting. This whole group knows. Good job. Okay. When I'm done talking, you're going to click where it says sign into classroom. Okay? Go ahead and do that now. And the fifth grade helpers walking around, you can make sure they do that. Click on sign into classroom. And don't click on anything else. Scroll up. Sign into classroom. copy paste your code so you can make it big. Okay. Raise your hand if you see sign in a classroom on your screen with that blue bar. Good job. Okay, hands down. Not all hands are up, but this goes back to what I was saying. When we have this many of us, we're just going to keep going. We'll come back to the ones who are stuck. Okay? Now we're going to scroll down. I'm going to stare at his screen. I want you to scroll down for me. There's two ways to scroll down, you guys. There's this little bar that you can click and drag down, or if you click one time, and then just use your arrow down so you can scroll down. So if you scroll down, and hers looks a little bit different because she's already done it. So I'm going to look at yours for a minute. Okay. At the bottom of the page, there's this light bulb, and it says join a class. So click on that for me, please. We will never, ever have to do this step again. So this is a one-time deal that takes a long time, and we'll never have to do this again. This is just a one-time setup. Okay? Now this is where it's going to look different because Mrs. Bromley is in there as a teacher. If you copy paste that and put it in a Word doc and just blow it up. Okay? Now, did you click on join a class? Okay. Okay, so Mrs. Bromley's making that big. I'm not seeing my little plus sign.
Fourth grade, nice job for
Yeah,
listening
thank
to
you.
directions.
I know. There's a plus sign that has been showing up. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to switch this up. So in your top left-hand corner, there's this little green chalkboard. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're not in the window that you're supposed to be in. You exited out. So top left-hand corner, right under where it says Google, there's this little green chalkboard. Click on that for me. This is the one. So once you find it, you need to look to your left, to your right, and make sure your neighbor has done it as well. Okay? You're there. Good job. Okay. So I'm going to hold this up. This is the screen I want to see when I walk around the rooms. Okay? This is the screen I want to see when I walk around the rooms. Now, if you scroll down a little bit farther, there's two blue buttons. There's two blue buttons, and one says, I am a student. You are not a teacher. Don't click on that one. That messes you up. So click on, I am a student.
If you're not sure what to click, raise your hand.
Scroll down. You're going to see a blue button. I am a student. I am a student. Okay. I am a student. We're going all together. I don't want to jump ahead. Okay. Now I'm starting to see that plus sign that disappeared.
Just maybe loading.
Now, when you click on I am a student, Google has to think for a long time. So if it's thinking, this doesn't look right. If it's thinking, that's a good thing because it's kind of putting in a class. Okay. Okay. I am a student. Have her click I am a student again. Okay, so here's what I should see now. I should see this icon. I'm going to come over here. This is where we are. I should see this desk, this chair, chalkboard that says welcome to Google Classroom. And if you look up in the corner, you should see your email, your login. You guys see that? Raise your hand if you see your name in the corner. Good. Okay, so if you see your name in the corner, did I steal this from you? Okay, I'm going to give it back now. If you see your name in the corner with a plus sign, go ahead and click on that plus sign. After a while, we may come back to you. So watch this next step. Okay. So go up, up, up to the top of the page where after you click on I'm a student. Yours is still taking, I think. Okay. And it's going to ask for a code, and here's